Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. There we go. Here's the banner. Oh my goodness. Sorry I'm late. Um, it's a bit chaotic in here, to put it mildly. It's a small coffee shop, and it's a little bit busy. Didn't really get my choice of tables. I thought maybe I'd beat the lunch rush, but I didn't. So let me take a moment and show you here what I have going on. Can you see that all right? Part of it anyways. Let me see. Nope, that's the wrong way. There we go. Kind of. Sorry. I'm just trying to show you the whole thing. The camera is like the rest of my week. There we go. Now they didn't tell me what everything was, but this one comes with a little meringue and a Madeleine. Well, maybe the meringue goes with this one. And then I have like a little dessert with marshmallows and chocolates. And look at all these different, this is amazing. This is so amazing. So I'm gonna put it back up so you have to look at my face. Not bad. Yes, I'm wearing a hat. It is cold here. It was -1 this morning. I had no desire to leave the house. But good on me. I went to the pool this morning. I went for a swim. So I'm drinking some water, very important for me because I have type 2 diabetes. The more water I can drink while I'm doing this, the healthier it is for me. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let's see if there's any. There we go. I am at Faubourg Paris. And we are in the we are in the Kerrisdale neighborhood of Vancouver. So Kerrisdale is one of the older neighborhoods. It's not quite in the top 5, because the top 5 neighborhoods would all be the ones closer to downtown. But this is definitely in the top 10. This neighborhood was really brought to life around 1905 when they started to bring in the interurban railroad, which was kind of how they got people around Vancouver back in the early 1900s. So I'm going to take a sip of my hot chocolate here. Look at this one. It's got like sprinkles around it. So I just went and worked out at the pool for like an hour. Now, a year ago, I didn't even know this whole little community existed, other than I've been to Kerrisdale a million times in my youth and my 20s. But as I said, I was swimming, and very pepperminty. It feels like a Christmas hot chocolate. And I was still going to my old pool. So I live around Granville and Broadway, which is a pretty busy area of Vancouver, but they don't really have any community centers. Okay, that is like frozen or something. So I was still going to my old pool, which was over an hour away. Now, if you drove there in a car, it'd be like 20 minutes probably. And but to go on the bus is like, they're doing construction on Broadway to put in a new SkyTrain, which is awesome because it's going to go like basically from Burnaby all the way to UBC, super easy for all the students and people that work out there. But the construction is killing the commute on Broadway, and then I can't even talk about the number 20 bus to go up Commercial Drive. It's horrible. It never arrives on time. It's just not an area you want to hang out. So I was like, I can't go to Britannia Pool anymore. I got to find somewhere else. So I started looking around, and that's when I realized that Kerrisdale has a pool. And I'm like, oh, I feel like that would be a better option. Oh, maybe I was supposed to mix this. There's something in the bottom. Looks like jam. Jam. Very interesting. So we got peppermint, like a candy cane. It's sticking to my mouth around the rim. Got like a strawberry jam in the bottom. Okay, but it's good. I'm gonna have to drink more water. Um, so I discovered that I can take the bus to this pool in 20 minutes. Like I leave my house, I walk 3 blocks to the bus stop, and I'm at the pool 20 minutes later. So it is so fantastic. Then one day, I had a friend who wanted to meet up with me. I said, yeah, let's do. She was going to be in Kerrisdale. I said, okay, cool. Let's go for a coffee in Kerrisdale. That sounds good to me. Am I supposed to eat this? I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of like it's dried and candy. I don't know. They didn't tell me much about it. I came in all excited and they were like, yeah, you want to do the hot chocolate festival? Come on, guys. Pretend you like your job, right? Here we go. Here is the next. I definitely need some water to cleanse the palate. So I came out here. I met her for coffee. In fact, we came here to Faubourg Paris for our coffee. Had a lovely little visit, and then she had to go. But I kind of wandered around for a little bit after. And this area is really cool. There's like, it's kind of like if you had to go run errands for a morning, pick up things at the dollar store, go to a grocery store, pick up, I don't know, a gift for somebody. Like, you could seriously come to this little area. It is so adorable. It has everything. It doesn't have like dollar stores, but it has like, I don't know, would you call them variety stores? Where they have stuff, it's lower prices. Like, I needed a lock for the lockers because they don't give you locks here. You don't put in the quarter to lock it up. So I had to go get a little lock. So I got one at the local little shop here. And it was like maybe $2, $3, something like that. And out in front of us here is 41st, uh-oh, 41st Avenue. I had to think for a minute whether it's avenue or streets here. Of course, this is an orange hot chocolate. It's like those Kerry's chocolate oranges, only it's better quality chocolate, much better. Um, so, anyways, this is 41st Avenue out here, which is a major thoroughfare through Vancouver. And I actually have a bit of a tie to this community. While it's one of the oldest neighborhoods in Vancouver, my mother grew up in Vancouver, but not in this neighborhood. But she somehow started going to church at Granville Chapel at 41st and Granville, which is literally like 4 blocks from here. So my parents actually got married at the church down the street. And then in my 20s, a lot of my friends from summer camp went to church here. So I started going to Granville Chapel. And then we would come for lunch, and there used to be a restaurant called the Red Onion. That was a little clove. That was not tasty. So we would come after church to the Red Onion, and I had a friend that I introduced to the Red Onion, and that she started driving up from Seattle, and I get a phone call, and she's like, I'm on my way to Vancouver. I'll be there in like 4 hours when I get through the border. We're going to Red Onion tonight. And she was like the hot dogs. All the rest of us came for the chicken burgers, and you got the cheese, and they would grate the cheese and put it on top. And then you would order a basket of the most delicious fries ever. But you just get one basket for like the whole table because it was such a big serving. And back then, I want to say it was like $12. This is the mid to late 90s, $12 for a burger. Like, that was expensive then, and they were the best. And so you would order at the counter and then get a seat and wait for them to bring it out. Which is how a few places do that here. And so it just made it like really, really kind of a fun spot to go after church with friends. So they still have the railroad tracks that you can see up the road here. And once I'm done these hot chocolates, we're going to head out and explore the neighborhood. In the meantime, I hope everybody's having a great day. If any of my friends are on here from New Orleans, I hope you're surviving the snow okay. So in case you didn't see my video the other day, on Monday, I woke up really, was it Monday? Monday or Tuesday? I'm pretty sure it was Monday. I woke up, and usually the first thing I do is I go on my phone to Facebook to see what's going on and who's around and how everybody's day is going. And I go on Facebook, and my whole news feed is snow. Now, I'm good with snow in the mountains. I'm good with snow anywhere where I am not. But if I have to walk in it, I get terrified because I slipped in the snow 2 or 3 years ago and ended up with a really bad concussion. In fact, if I hadn't been wearing a big fluffy Sherpa like toque or beanie with my backpack on my back, I don't know that I'd be here today, honestly. I hit my head hard enough that I blacked out. And 1 minute I'm standing tapping to go through the turnstile, and the next minute I have four lovely strangers helping me get up off the ground, and I have no recollection to this day of falling. So sorry if you've heard that story already, but I had to explain why I don't like the snow. It's not that I don't like snow, it's that I'm fearful of having to walk in it. This is a good one. I like this orange hot chocolate. And so, whipping cream on this other one's going a little crazy. I'm going to take a bit off. So I'm looking, and I look out the window, and I keep my blinds open a little bit. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't see any snow out here. So I'm looking, and I'm looking back at Facebook, and I look at the snow, and I'm like, no, that's. And then it dawned on me, the snow was in New Orleans. Of course it looked familiar with the snow because I've been to New Orleans a million times. So my mind was playing tricks on me, and it was seeing the snow and telling me that it was where I was, but it wasn't at all. So our weather today is like -1 Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Different. And my apartment was very cozy this morning, and I was not inclined to leave the house, but I promised myself in order to go do the hot chocolate flight, I would go for a swim first, because this is 3 hot chocolates. So now here we are hanging out together and having some fun. So this actually, the neighborhood we're in, at the very, very, very beginning of Kerrisdale, this was actually all farmed here. This was farmland. We're hanging out in a fancy French style boulangerie or patisserie on grounds that were really originally for horses and chickens and stuff. Then they brought in the interurban railway, as I said, that did like a lot of that transportation around Vancouver. Vancouver was very spread out. Vancouver itself has a lot of ground, a lot of property. And so they had to come up with different ways of getting around to the different spread out neighborhoods. And so this is actually a lot of the professional athletes in Vancouver either live in West Vancouver in like the Caulfield area, or they live out here in Kerrisdale, because not that this is the reason why, but as Vancouver started to grow and grow and grow, for some reason, getting a postal code here in this neighborhood was like very prestigious. You wanted to get a house. Like a lot of these houses, if you go and walk off of 41st Street and go like a couple of blocks on, I'm going to say the other side, And then down that way as well. There's a lot of really nice big houses, especially Granville Street has a lot of mansions. But Granville to here is kind of like this original, maybe rich neighborhood. So a lot of the athletes, professional athletes, do own houses and property up here. At least from the old school days. I don't think anybody can afford anything up here anymore. So, like, there used to be this TV evangelist, Kerry Winter, and his kids came to summer camp with me. And it was almost a little controversial because here is this is kind of like getting into politics. I'm sorry, this is where my brain went today. TV evangelist, beautiful house on the west side in Kerrisdale, has a housekeeper. His wife doesn't work. And he's always asking for money, to work his ministry, but that's okay. You have a little electric heater at the base of the nice for the pot. Yeah, yeah. It's I've had the heat on a lot. It's going to be a more expensive electric bill this time around. All right, I'm going to finish this one. We'll go to our third hot chocolate, and then we'll go for a walk. So this Terry Winter dude used to live out here, and we would actually his two older kids were kind of my age, and so sometimes we'd end up working at the same session of summer camp together, and they'd have like a pool party in the backyard for all the staff, like before camp or at the end of the summer or something, and we'd all go hang out at the Winter's house. And very interesting. Wonder if I can use my fork and knife to get into this dessert. And so this area has a history of being rather affluent. It's also just now more, I'd say, kind of just pretty basic, really. Nope, that is solid. This must be ice cream. It's the only thing I can think of that's got marshmallows. Oh, maybe it's not. It's got jam in it too. I don't know what this is. This might get messy, and I apologize, but we're just having fun here today. So, okay. This is what I'm attempting to eat. So my apologies if it gets a little out of hand. Whoops. It just dropped off. This is chocolate and chocolate and chocolate and chocolate and more chocolate with some marshmallows on top. So a lot of the buildings in this area are older, and they're the original buildings from this neighborhood. So I took a different route down here today from the pool, and I came out a side door and down an alley. And I don't know if you guys know this about me. I'm fascinated by architecture. Probably one of the many reasons I love New Orleans, right? So I got to do a little walkabout in the back here. And if there's one thing I love fancy houses, I love shotgun houses, little houses, whatever. But I am fascinated by apartment buildings, especially ones that are like mid-century modern, Beaux-Art, like all the ones that are only like 3 or 4 stories, and usually the windows around the windows are decorated. They just have a certain look. Sometimes they have the little overhang at the main doors, and then the aluminum or whatever around the front of it. It's just really cool. I get fascinated by the architecture, and this neighborhood is definitely part of that. There's obviously some newer buildings like Starbucks across the street, or it's been renovated nicely. But then directly across from me is a very, very Very old building. Kind of reminds me of one of the buildings I was showing off when I did the Chinatown tour in Calgary earlier in the fall last year. Now, while I'm sitting here, before we get out walking around, I've got some more tours booked, and I'm going to be adding some more tours to the books, as they say. So I'm trying to get this one piece of chocolate with the fork. Got it. So I have three more tours for the Hot Chocolate Festival. The next one is next week. And I did originally have to change the original post because I don't know what I was doing. I did the post for the wrong day. And then the day I was going to do the post, the tour, I ended up getting a shift because you know how that goes. I wait and wait and wait for the schedule. Then I'm like, okay, I never work Wednesdays. I can't wait for the schedule anymore. I'm going to book a tour on a Wednesday. Schedule comes out 20 minutes after I book the tour. And what do I have? A Wednesday shift till 3:30. And I was going to do the tour at 1:30. So I've now shifted it to, I believe, the 30th. Because I was going to do the day before, but um, Mount is where we're going. It's not open that day, and that one's going to be cool. That is the one that is called the Teller of Fortunes. I have no idea what this drink looks like. It's interactive, something about you put it over top and you open it or pop it or something, like the fortunes flow or set your intention. So I'm really excited to go check this one out. Also, it's in a really cool, quirky part of town, like Main and 25th, and some of my favorite restaurants. Ones that I don't go to all the time, but do love are out in that area. Um, I think the last tour I'm doing at the festival is what I'm calling a mystery tour, and that is simply because there's so many good options. I wasn't able to make up my mind, and I wanted to get the tour on the books. And then I'm going to an actual hot chocolate lounge. Like it's just a hot chocolate lounge all year round for, I think, the third tour. I'm going to plan a meetup for this Sunday, I think, at Bjorn Bar in Whitlam to watch for that. Exciting news, and that is here today. I'm going to be featured next month for our Going Places Virtually group. They're going to interview me and everything, so that's going to be super fun. Y'all got to catch that. And while I'm doing shameless plugs about myself right here, after the tour today, if you could go, if you're on my Facebook, go to my co-LC Chitty page. And I've actually posted a video. There's a caption on it that says like Empowerography 2025 edition. And I need people to go and like it or comment or like, comment, and share. Just put some action on the page if you could for me. They are going to count all the votes tomorrow with all the clicks and decide who gets to be a speaker at this International Women's Day event. And so I've asked to be part of the panel one. And it's all about like compassion and the world, helping change the world through compassion and kindness and stuff. And the video is kind of cool anyway, so it's fun to watch. But if you could do that for me, that would be amazing. All right. Let me see if I can find on my notes here the history. So Kerrisdale, Kerrisdale, that's the neighborhood where we are right now, was named after Mrs. William McKinnon's family. So I guess her husband, they were founders of this area. And so Kerrisdale is actually named after the Scottish village of that family. And this is William McKinnon. So we've got quite a few little areas of Vancouver, neighborhoods like Mount Pleasant and stuff that are all named after villages that are in the UK. Mount Pleasant is actually named after the mayor's wife was from Mount Pleasant, Ireland, and that's how that one got the name. So there we go, a little extra history. This is very much a little community neighborhood, so they still have little bookstores and things and stationery shops. So if you missed the beginnings, like I was saying, this is the kind of community and area where if you had like a morning where you needed to go get stuff done, you could come out here and run around and do all your errands in one little like 4 block radius. And if we have time, we'll make time. Um, there's a really cool high school out here as well. Really cool. Cool building. All right, we're on to the last hot chocolate. I stole a little whipping cream off the top. Look at these little mugs. They're so cute. This one has a little, I think they're called Madeleines. And it's got a whole lot of like thick, is that like a clotted cream, I think? So we'll finish up this one. We'll go for a walk. It's a Madeline. It's kind of almost like those Italian lady fingers, though not if you're thinking of the crunchy ones. These are like the soft ones that you would make tiramisu with, except these are a different shape. This one's probably going to be my favorite. Definitely like the orange one as well. So the Hot Chocolate Festival has been going on for 15 years. This is year 15. And they started it to get people to come out and support all these little small business coffee shops. Because it's January and nobody goes out because we're all paying off our Christmas bills. So they're like, hey, we're going to do a hot chocolate festival. Oh yeah, this is like that heavy creek. Oh, this is magnificent. I wish you could all have this one with me. So they designed this whole festival for people to be able to come out and just go and get something. Now, this flight today was $18. This is not a cheap shop. I did get a ham and cheese croissant because after swimming, I was like, I feel like I'm going to start to get hungry in the middle of the tour, and that won't be good. So it's $18 just for the flight of hot chocolate. But the value is we have 3 smaller hot chocolates. We have the chocolate with the marshmallows on top. We had the little meringue, and then the Madeline. Ooh. So when you break it down, like 3 hot chocolates and treats, that's pretty good. I mean, my last one was $17 for the frog mug. I'm going to post some videos and reels from going to the aquarium that day. I did already post the frog mug, though. It's very cute. I always go down there right away for the aquarium ones because they tend to sell out of those mugs, and then they replace it with like Nemo. But they were supposed to have a frog sugar cookie to accompany the mug, and I got a snowman. That was a bit of a letdown, I'm not going to lie. Because then you kind of think, well, how long has the snowman been sitting around? Right? If they had them since December. All right. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of information that I could find about Kerrisdale. I told you much of the history. Um, it's more fun to kind of get out and see it. And then the other thing I was going to say is this is Faubourg Paris. Has one, two, I want to say there's three locations, maybe four. I think this is the original, and they used to teach macaron baking classes. And I've always wanted to do that here. And it just never worked out with my timing. So during the pandemic, I actually ended up doing two classes with Bon Macaron. Now, my favorite location of Faubourg Paris is right behind the Fairmont Hotel Vancouver. And that one it has kind of just a different vibe. It's just, I don't know. This one isn't good or bad. It's just different. And I don't know if they still have the one at Park Royal. I've never been to it. I've only seen it from the outside, but I think it was a big one if I remember correctly. All right, are you guys ready? Ready to go look around? So we're gonna head out. We're gonna go to the left for a bit, and then probably cross the street, walk down the other side, walk past west, I think east. If there's east and west boulevard, one goes one way, one goes the other. Just down at the corner here. Then we'll go over. There's a cute little afternoon tea spot here on 41st. And then we should have time, and I'll take you for a walk past the high school. The high school is really only um, a block away, just past the McDonald's. The high school is almost next to the McDonald's, not quite. They have an arena in between. Sometimes after swimming at the pool, it's another reason I like this area. Um, Sometimes after swimming at the pool, I like to actually go over and have a coffee and maybe a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's if I'm hungry. Only if I'm really hungry. Because I just have to watch the diabetes a little bit. All right, you know what? I'm going to see. I don't know if this is supposed to be edible or not. I think it's an orange slice. I don't think they've laced it with chemicals or anything. Me, I'm always curious. So we have the white hot chocolate with the jam on the bottom and the peppermint rim. We had the orange hot chocolate, dark chocolate, with a cinnamon stick and the clove piece. Made it just a little bit, not spicy, it just had a tiny kick to it. And then, I don't know, whatever this heavenly concoction was, but it was like a milk hot chocolate with the potted thick cream. And it looked like they had some kind of artwork going on underneath. But it was covered by beautiful cream, and it had the Madeleine in it. We had the meringue with the orange hot chocolate. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm busy here with a video. So I'm actually just going to leave my dishes here neatly stacked. I'm going to take my napkin with me because it's cold outside and my nose keeps dripping. So I'm just going to stack everything up nicely here. And I'll turn this around, turn the camera around for you guys. And you can see what the shop looks like while I quickly put my coat on. And then we're going to get going. And now I'm doing this. How do I turn the camera around again? Right, yes. See, it's been like a month. I did all those tours in December and then I haven't done any. I've been focusing on building Girl on the Bus Adventures and my head is just in a whole other space. I'll get this figured out though. Here we go. Facing back. Let's do. I never really understand which one to push. We'll just do this one. You know what? We're actually going to try and see what the difference is. Oh, no. I think I like that other one better. Sorry if I'm making you woozy or something. Here we go. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get my jacket on, pick up my backpack, and my beautiful friends. We will head out for a walkabout this cute little neighborhood. I'm going to walk in front of you and grab my coach. And I will show you what this place looks like before we go. There is a big giant chandelier and some French looking artwork. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope wherever you are, you're staying warm. You're being good to yourself at the start of the year. It has been a crazy start to the year. I was just so dysregulated with what happened in New Orleans, man. And I have so many people that are now family to me down there, and it just wasn't right until I knew that all my beloved friends and fam were okay. And so now I'm doing much better and ready to go back at it. I am going to be going on vacation in April. I am headed to Orlando for the Rascal Flatts concert, and I'm going to do a tour around Disney Springs. So we got that coming up. My birthday is the end of March. I'm going to do some kind of birthday tour party celebration. And I think March 1st is plan a solo vacation day. So I have some fun plans for that day as well. So lots of things coming up. So here we go. This is what it looks like in here. I was like, oh, there's two paintings. And then I realized, no, that's a mirror. Oh, dear God, still recovering from Tuesday. So there we go. This is pretty cute, hey? Look at that chandelier. And then we just have seating down here. And this is the little table I have right in the middle of it all. Love this black and white floor. And here we go. Let's walk out this way. I don't want to have to squish past people with my giant backpack on. And here we go. Here's a little look. You too. Thank you. The hot chocolate was fabulous. So good. All of them were good. You're welcome. And then this is kind of cute. You know, I love orange. It's part of my company colors. But look at how nice this little patio is. Can you imagine? Not today, but like on a summer day, coming along and just having a little iced coffee and a treat here. And then they've got all their little community benches you can sit at. So I got a bit of gray sky today. And so this is Faubourg Paris. Let's see if I can find a sign on the outside. There we go. This is the actual shop from the outside. So go a little bit down here and then cross over and head back so we can show you around. Actually, I'm trying to remember the people I hung out with. Tom, oh, I had the biggest crush on Tom Kerfers. Tom and Robin McCreary, Sue, and sometimes Tamara Redicop. All these people that I grew up with at summer camp. We used to hang out down here. Got Cobb's Bread, one of the little bookstores here. How to Winter, Harness Your Mindset to Thrive on Cold, Dark, or Difficult Days. That actually sounds like a good book. Stories for Winter and Nights by the Fire. That sounds good too. The Art of Danish Living. And of course, we're big on Lunar New Year here. That is a huge thing. Oh, there's a little thing, a magnet, wooden magnet set for Chinese zodiac. Where I work at the Lego store is very much in the middle of um, the community that would enjoy Lunar New Year. And so it's we kind of have to know all that stuff. Well, not all of it, but a little bit, enough to have a conversation. Bululu, hot pot and ramen, self-serve. So this is a major bus route through the city, 41st Avenue. That's one of our express buses. I just walked by a luggage shop. I'm so excited. I have a new suitcase. My birth mom, which now I can actually probably just say my mom Linda, because we all know that my other mom has passed on. Maybe we'll cross here. And anyways, I asked for a new carry-on. She got me my last carry-on, but that is like 15 years old. It's seen better days. It doesn't really fit for carry-on anymore. And also, it's like not four-wheel drive. It doesn't spin. It doesn't roll nicely. Let's do a little walk down here and just see. Just see. So I did some research and I gave her a whole list. Like, it has to have a handle on the side. It has to have a compartment inside. It has to be a hard case. It has to be teal or orange. And like, you need to test it out if you can. And make sure that it rolls nicely. I mean, God knows, 2 years of working at the port, dealing with luggage in what I call the luggage cage. And I'm like, no more bad luggage. So I've repurposed my old suitcase because I don't believe in the structure is still good. It's just not fun to travel with. So I've decided to repurpose it. And now, instead of taking up valuable, I was going to say cupboard space, closet space, I took all my, this is where we just came from. We'll see this back again in a moment. Just wanted to stop and show it off. So anyways, I took all my Mardi Gras costumes, regular costumes, all my Batman gear, and I have packed it away in my old carry-on, and that is where it shall stay for the foreseeable future. Here we go. I love this giraffe in the window. I don't see much else to really look at down here. Typical Shoppers Drug Mart. So I think we're actually going to head back the other way. Oh, we're almost... Whew. We're at like 45 minutes already. Sorry, I was a slow drinker with hot chocolate today. But I was also really enjoying it and having fun. So there we go. So I have this brand new carry-on in kind of a dark teal color, which is kind of perfect because I have like a soft shoulder bag, kind of duffel bag, and a matching tiny little hard case. And they're both in a dark teal, but they're leopard print dark teal. And so I might take the little hard case as my personal item and have a pretty cool looking set. Very excited about that. I love, I feel like a lot of the world forgets to look up. And if there's one thing I've learned from getting more involved in tourism in Vancouver, it's remembering to look up every now and then. Now, I'm going to guess this is a newer building, but can you see it there at the very top? There's a balcony, and then that top, now I can't remember, is that kind of like a mansard roof? I know they're not traditionally made of brick, but it is a very cute, more, maybe this shows it off a little better. There we go. I had a dollhouse once that was a mansard style. Very cool. Market meats here. I feel like in this neighborhood that would be a very expensive butcher. Ha ha ha. Look what we have. Dun dun dun. Tim Hortons. Oh, good old Tim Hortons. Kins Market here with all the vegetables, fruit, produce, etc. They have quite a few of these kind of clocks here in Vancouver. They have one over in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood as well. Very cool looking. Old fashioned kind of heritage clock here. Heritage looking anyways. Isola Bella. Scotiabank. I could live in this neighborhood. It's got everything I need. Scotiabank, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, bunch of coffee shops, dollar stores. Purdy's Chocolates. Now, this Purdy's Chocolate here is actually a Vancouver founded company back in, I believe it was 1910. So, and they do the no sugar added chocolates, and they actually do a really good job of them. So, this is Purdy's here. And so, I've actually started to do a lot more buying at Purdy's because it is. I actually tried to get a job a couple of years ago for Christmas at Purdy's. Maybe next year. Jess's Cafe for brunch. Ooh, doesn't this look yummy? Ooh, I'm going to guess that's some sort of stuffed croissant. Like waffles. Very nice. Brunch 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 4. That looks like a good breakfast, too. Ooh, $17. That's actually a pretty good price for breakfast here in Vietnam. I might have to come back. I have a friend named Jen that I love to go for brunch with, and we may have to come here and check it out. Now the other side of the street is where all the, maybe I didn't think this through, fun little stationery shops are. Huh. I wonder what this was. Or maybe it's not open yet. So we've got, these are more and more starting to pop up here, these, the little Tokyo Beauty, Japanese home care and cosmetics. That's relatively new here in the neighborhood. Oh my goodness. Look, look at this dress. So cute with all the stars and rainbows. They've got a, what am I trying to say? Oh my goodness. A lot of little stationery shops down here that sell the jelly cats and stuff. It's kind of a cool little Harry Potter display here. See if we can get rid of the window glare. Looks like this is another little bookshop, stationery shop. Fun little place here. Look at these clocks. I've always wanted to have, my sister at her house has a clock for Vancouver. I think it's a clock for, well, Australia, obviously, where her husband's from, Perth. And I feel like the other clock is something to do with maybe Italy, going with all of our heritage or something. Love these Lunar New Year displays. Beautiful red and gold. I wouldn't have that kind of decor in my house. I think it's a bit opulent, but it looks good in a window display. And it's fun to enjoy for a month every year. Now, is this that? This is the Hills Brothers of Kerrisdale, or Hills something. And we have a blue ruby inside, this blue ruby here. And it is really cool, just basic, kind of more casual jewelry. And I got my sister a piece here. And inside, I've never really been able to figure it out. But I think they're kind of almost like a modern day version of a general store from like the 1890s. And they have like a little bit of, I don't know if we can see in or not, but like a little bit of everything. They've got shoes and purses and home goods. Like the Hills outlet in my neighborhood always has like a record player in the window, um, and like old fashioned camping style mugs, like you have to percolate your coffee over like a fire or like a two burner thing. Just very different, but it also looks really expensive. So honestly, I've never gone inside. I just haven't. So speaking of coffee shops that I like, there's another one up here. So we passed by Artigiano's as well. In fact, the last time I went to Artigiano's, I thought I was going to Faubourg Paris and I wasn't paying attention to anything in particular. And I go in and I order my coffee and I sit down and I'm like, I'm in the wrong coffee shop. Dang. And so I had to have a good little giggle over my ridiculous self. But my other favorite one that I like is the Honolulu Cafe. So if I'm going to stick around for a coffee afterwards, after a swim, then I usually am like, oh, do I feel like Hawaii? Do I feel like Paris? Like, or Italy today? Which one do I feel like? So if you had more than one clock on your wall and were paying tribute to your heritage, what cities would you have clocks with the time on for them? I would have, obviously, Vancouver and New Orleans. Being I'm Italian, I could do that too. I mean, my sister and I were the same ethnic variety. Um, Although me, I'd probably maybe honor the French side of our family. We're French Canadian as well. And so I feel like maybe Paris, New Orleans, and Vancouver. Those would be my three clocks. Just waiting to cross the light here. So a couple of years ago, Honolulu Coffee, I came to this particular location for the Hot Chocolate Festival. And they had a cotton candy cloud that sat over top of the hot chocolate. And it was fabulous, but also very ridiculous and yummy. All right. This is a really long. Did somebody not push a button? So that's what's going on. So this here, oh, we actually, this area right here is where the train tracks used to, or they still are, they're just not used anymore. They have a couple of different tracks in different parts of town for this interurban railway. And when we had the 2010 Olympics, they actually revived one of the old trains, not to actually move people around the city, but just to kind of pay homage to our heritage. Which is kind of cool. So we do a little walk up here. We just passed the McDonald's near the high school. We're going to go up and then back and then do a quick walk a block or two over. We actually have the arena right next to us here now. This arena, our women's roller derby league does bouts, practice rounds at the beginning of the season at the Kerrisdale Arena. I remember going in to volunteer. Didn't know anybody, never volunteered for the organization before in my life. And they're like, "Do you know how to do cash?" And I'm like, "Or box office?" I'm like, "Yeah." So they literally handed me a cash box with like $500 in it, all change and stuff, and said, "Here you go, have at her." I was like, "You don't even know me." So they left me in a tiny little booth to basically do box office tickets all night. Fox and Unicorn Arts. This place looks kind of cool. Nice patchwork. Kind of a fun. It's actually kind of a fun little place where if you were here for like a week in Vancouver, you could come and like kick it easily for a whole afternoon here in this fun little neighborhood. Kind of like a looks like a lucky kitty on the over here. Koi fish. Ah, here we go. Look at this. This is the Adonia. I have not been here yet. The Adonia Tea Room. Those parlor chairs. Oh my goodness. This is a pretty cool little spot. Let's see if we can do a little. I feel like it's reminding me of somewhere, but I don't quite know where. Look at the desk with the two ladies with the hats, the little figurines there. That is so cool. I've had a couple of past life regressions done now. So I do get a little suspicious. When I see things that are from days gone by that look familiar, I'm always like, I wonder if this was part of my past. Oh, we're doing the Valentine's Day theme here. A little less Lunar New Year, a little more love. Jellycat, so big in Vancouver. I think we're kind of at the end of the cool part. So we are going to head back and I'm going to take you for a quick walk down to the high school. Oh, look at that bear. He's so cute. So we got a liquor store here. We've got a London Drugs, which is basically just like Shoppers Drug Mart, only more reasonably priced, I'm going to say. I often buy a lot of I bought laptop computers from London Drugs over the years. It's got more like housewares and stuff in it, more than just like Shoppers Drug Mart. Um, if I'm buying, like, I had to buy a new coffee machine a little while ago. So I went on and I compared Canadian Tire, Walmart, Home Depot, and London Drugs to see what the prices were. I love to travel and I love to go on adventures. So I want to spend as little as possible on buying new gadgets and things. I want nice ones and good ones that work, but I just want a deal, like all the time. So I got a very basic. I bought myself a fancy timed um, coffee pot, like 12 cup with a timer, had a clock on it and a digital display, and it never worked properly. And then one day it just wouldn't turn on. I may or may not have lost my temper after 2 days of trying to turn it on. And slammed my fist down on the top, trying to like shake it to like get it going or whatever. And the thing just cracked right across the top. So I was like, all right, you're done. This is it. You're over. And that one had cost me like $60 on sale. And my new one is like $25. It has a clock on it with a display, and it has been working beautifully. Here's in front of the Kerrisdale Arena. My gosh, by the end of the night, when I did the volunteer box office, I had $10,000 in the little booth. And that booth is actually on the right-hand side there. And I kept having filling envelopes with $1,000 cash and putting it under the counter. This is a very old arena from the original neighborhood. So yeah, on the right-hand side there, that little window, that's where I was. Cyclone Taylor is apparently a hockey player. I am not a hockey fan. I do not know all the details. I can just tell you that I came across some information, and there's like a sporting goods store here in the area called Cyclone Taylor's, and he was a hockey player here in Vancouver a long, 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 long time ago. And I'm guessing he was a good player, and that's why there's things named after him. So that is the Cyclone Taylor Kerrisdale Arena. So here we are. We're coming up to the high school, but I'm going to go a little bit closer so you can get a better look. It's just we know all about my fascination for buildings, and this is a really cool building. I guess we're in art. Oh, you have multiple clocks. Cool. Where's Living in the Cotswolds? Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I had more comments in there. Getting reused to walking and reading. That was a weird part about doing tours on Facebook, is I never was reading comments or anything. So it's taken a while to get used to it again. So we're going to go up as close as we can, just because it is so cool. I don't think we can get inside the property during the day. So this is all along here, this dividing line. So we are on East Boulevard at the moment, and the other side is West Boulevard. So it's one-way traffic. Maybe it's not. No, it's not. It's two-way. And then the interurban railway used to go in along there. in the middle, kind of like, I guess, in New Orleans, they would call this a neutral ground. More little shops across the way there. I think there's a White Spot restaurant somewhere in there on the other side. White Spot being one of the oldest restaurant chains here in Vancouver. Comfort food and very yummy comfort food in a very casual atmosphere. And that is where I go in the summer for Pirate Pack Day, the adult version. Here we go. We're finally getting closer. So maybe we can see. Hopefully you can. Oh, no, still not very well. It just looks like it's all locked up. But I'll go up here and see. It looks like there might be a walkway. Maybe it's just certain sides they lock up. And then after this, I'm going to go catch my bus home from here. Ooh. Oh, it's a construction site. Huh. Track and field are open. Oh, it looks like the school's operating, but the field has been closed. So this is Point Grey Secondary School. And I'm hoping you can kind of see, or maybe you can blow it up. It looks like a freaking castle, guys. Now, I'm just speaking from Vancouver, but how many schools are built? We actually just used to call it the castle. Like, you had a game today for basketball? Yeah, where? Oh, over at the castle. Okay. I actually wanted to coach basketball here only because the school is built like a castle. Just like I wanted to coach at Lord Byng because their mascot, or whatever their teams were called, the Grey Ghosts. I think there is a show they use this school for. Isn't that just the coolest? I think it's pretty cool. Hopefully you can blow your screen up a little or something to enlarge it to really understand and see all the beautiful details of it. Little turrety kind of things. That's kind of cool as well. All the crests on the outside. I'm guessing that's their gymnasium at the back there. So yeah, I was like, when I was going through the area, I was like, that's right. West Point Grey. No, sorry, this is Point Grey. West Point Grey is a private school I played in many tournaments at. This is Point Grey, the castle school. So there we go, guys. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. Now I'm remembering better where to find the settings. Camera. Whew. My fingertips are getting cold. Oh, that's close. All right, well, whether you're catching this live or coming in later for the replay, remember, always hashtag replay for me so I know you were here, or hashtag live if you were here for the live version. Hope you enjoyed a little casual tour with some fun at the Hot Chocolate Festival. The next one will be next week. I believe also on a Thursday in the early afternoon, because that's when Melt opens. And that will be for the Teller of Fortunes. And I'm working on some cool concepts for this fun little tour that's going to be happening. And looking forward to showing you around Main Street, which is a good little area of Vancouver. And yeah, here we are. Whoops, forgetting to have the camera on me. Silly girl that I am. I'm going to walk over to the bus stop. Ooh, this is muddy over here. That's why they have a little block to step on. I were a bus stop. Where? Oh, down here. Here we go. So yeah, there we go. That was the first tour from this year's Hot Chocolate Festival. Festival has been running for 15 years. It's kind of a big deal here in Vancouver. People get very excited about it. Everybody goes over the schedule with a fine-tooth comb. Usually drop it into an Excel spreadsheet like I did, and highlights all their favorite or all the drinks they really have to try, might want to try, and then the rest that they'll might get around to. The White Spot restaurant over here. Like I said, I knew there was one here. There goes a bus. Not going to worry about it. That is my bus, and it runs every 10 to 15 minutes. Give me a chance to sit down and relax at the bus stop. So I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are having a fabulously magical day. And as always, thanks for joining in. Remember, any upcoming tours that look interesting, go ahead and share them with your friends and family. And share the fun, share the love. And if you have a chance, and can drop a little something. Pretty sure on my Facebook page I have my PayPal link somewhere on Facebook for sure. And always you can go to buymeacoffee.com and buy me a coffee. So here you are. I'm headed home to get some stuff done today. More things. I have all these bingo cards of things to do. Great plans and goals as I get ready to head back in season with Grey Line West Coast Sightseeing for another season with those fabulous folks. And remember to stay warm and do a little self-care. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you, Annette. I will enjoy the rest of my day. I'll probably be sending you something later. And let me get to the other side of the street here safely, and then I will officially sign off. All right. Here we go, my friends. Have an absolutely magical day, and thanks for being here. You're awesome.